Hello and welcome back to Coinfrontation. Today I want to talk with you about staking on eCash. Of course, you all know it. The Avalanche post consensus is now for a couple of weeks active on eCash. That means staking is already possible. However, there are currently no staking rewards. So we want to talk a little bit about that, how that will be evolved. Will there be staking rewards? Won't there be staking rewards? What are the benefits and downside of staking rewards or no staking rewards? So this is a little bit what I wanted to discuss with you. There was actually also a podcast that I had together with Tobias and Superior a while ago. I will link it in one of the corners, so check it out if you want to. There's a longer discussion about their opinion about staking on eCash. It's just their opinion. It's not a decision made yet. So it's still open. And I just wanted to present you all of the things that I know about this and maybe start a little bit of a discussion. So you're happy also to comment down below what you think about eCash staking. Should there be staking rewards? Shouldn't there be staking rewards? But wait maybe until the end of the video until you have all the information to build your opinion about. Of course, also the disclaimer up front, as always, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. I will leave all of the links down in the description below, so check them out, read a little bit, watch the videos I link, and make up your own mind what you think about this. In the video with Tobias and Superior, we talked about I think in the videos, I called him still Vin. Vin Armani was his name before. He changed his name, his public name to Cyprian a couple of months ago. So whatever, but you will find the video. I will link it anyways. So there was a discussion about eCash staking rewards. The reason for this is that eCash is Bitcoin based. That means there's proof of work, of course. That means there are miners. The miners, they build the blocks, they mine the blocks, and with this get a reward, in this case in eCash, for their work that they have put in, right? They have expenses, they have to buy expensive computational equipment, they have to pay for electricity, so on, but they get rewarded with eCash, Bitcoin, whatever it is, and basically that makes it a viable business model. The reason, maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't know, you know of course that eCash is a fork of Bitcoin. The actual fork of Bitcoin was Bitcoin Cash, and then eCash was a minority chain of Bitcoin Cash. And the reason that actually Bitcoin Cash and eCash split up was the reason that the founders of eCash, Amaury and the group around him, wanted to implement so-called mining fee. That means miners would give up, in this case, 8% of their mining rewards, and these 8% would be used to pay developers to improve the blockchain and also to invest into some infrastructure projects, some interesting projects on eCash. That was a huge red flag for some people, and they really didn't like it. So there was very, very ugly breakup between these two projects because of that. And the argument of Tobias and Superior was basically that if it was already such a problem to take these 8% from the miners, it will be a much bigger problem to ask even more from them to pay for the staking rewards. Because the technical reason for this is the only way that there's money or more coins are generated within Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and also eCash is through mining. That's the only way in the Bitcoin protocol that generates new coins. So if you want to hand out staking rewards, you have to take it from the miners. That's of course a problem. If they already complained about the 8% for staking rewards, you would likely have to take more than that. So it's there is some problematics there. Tobias and Superior had also a good point that there is an incentive for miners to invest in staking on eCash, on Avalanche consensus algorithm, because the consensus algorithm, the Avalanche proof of stake consensus algorithm, can reject already mined blocks. That means for the miner, it's basically a protection of their self-interest to be able to add the blocks into the blockchain to get the rewards. So there is an incentive for the miners to have staking, to do staking on eCash. That would mean that even though there is no on-chain staking rewards taken from the miners, likely the miners would pay out of their own pockets from their staking rewards basically, but on their own device, on their own decision, and deciding also how much they want to pay, they would pay somebody to be able to stake. So in the end, for the retail investor or also for bigger investors, it would come out to be the same, right? They would get staking rewards, but not directly off the chain, but from the miners. That's a good argument. However, there's also arguments against that. The security of the eCash blockchain currently with implementation of Avalanche highly resides also within the staking. So if nobody is staking on eCash, then it's also a problem for the eCash environment, because the eCash network could be attacked quite easily. That means there should be also an interest to attract people to stake on eCash to avoid such issues. That's of course easiest done with staking rewards, right? Currently, there are already staking nodes up without the staking rewards. I think this is also a great effort of the community. I think the eCash community, so you guys out there are great, and you do a good job to support the project. And of course, that is the first step. However, I also understand that this is it's not for long term, right? So people will not stake their eCash if they don't get some kind of return for it. Now is the question, of course, how long will it take until the miners will pay staking rewards out of their own pocket? So you could argue that on-chain staking rewards make eCash more safe. That's also a good argument. Also would attract more investors probably, because you would have earlier, it would basically from the day they decide that there would be on-chain staking rewards, there would be staking rewards for everybody to grab, which would attract new investment, which would incentivize people to keep their investment longer in eCash, which is of course great for all the other investors, for the project itself, for the developers and so on. These, I think, both are very good arguments. I don't have an opinion either way. I think in both ways there will be, for retail investors like me and probably you, there will be ways of getting staking rewards. There is already small but still staking rewards on Binance. So I don't worry about that too much. However, it's still an open question. Also on the eCash webpage, when you read it through, there is a point of staking rewards. And it's very interesting because what they write there is they basically advertise that there will be staking rewards on eCash. However, the last sentence, I think it is, reads something like, we will consider all possibilities for implementing staking rewards that are technologically feasible. Of course, the idea of Tobias and Superior is technologically feasible. It's technologically feasible to have no on-chain rewards, but still the possibility for people to get staking rewards from the miners. So I think it's still an open question, an open debate. I know that behind the curtains there were already made certain decisions. I don't know what these decisions are. So we will see how this evolves. I think it's a good debate to have. I think it's interesting. It would be also very interesting to hear from you, from probably retail investors like me. What do you think about this? Of course, in our interest, staking rewards are great, but do we really care if they're on-chain, off-chain? Can we wait longer? Would change anything? I don't know if it would make for me much of a difference. I think the question is, what is better for the network, for the community, for the security of eCash and things like this? I don't know the answer to that. I think this video was more to lay out all of the arguments and the things I know about that, that you are able to make your own opinion about this, because I think it's a valuable discussion to have, not just for eCash, but also in general, because it's clear that staking rewards have to come from somewhere. So when you get staking rewards, these coins which you receive, they have to come somewhere. So they were, in some cases before, not in circulation, so they were in some kind of pool and then are handed out. So part of the open coin base, or they were mined or created, minted, or something like this. In every case like this, of course, when you take a coin that was not in circulation and bring it to circulation, that of course lowers the value of all other coins that are in circulation. The same as when you mint a coin. So you always basically, you cannot create money out of nothing. This is very clear. So there is a certain risk to staking rewards. And it's also clear that when staking rewards are too high, the project actually becomes a Ponzi scheme. Because the staking rewards have to be paid by somebody, right? Like when you pay out your staking rewards, that money has to come from somewhere. And that comes from people that later than you invested in it, which makes the whole thing a Ponzi scheme. So too high staking rewards and too low incentives for a real utility of the network, of the community, and of the coin is a problem, because it becomes, as I said, a Ponzi scheme. So the question is, what is the right amount of staking rewards? How can staking rewards made in a way that it secures the blockchain itself, that it incentivizes new investment and interest into the project, but also that they're reasonable enough that the project doesn't become a Ponzi scheme? I think it's a very, very tricky balance that has to be struck there, and I think it's a good point that eCash is actually doing this discussion, right? Doesn't make like wild decisions and say like, okay, we want to make this a success, so we make like 40% staking rewards just to get things going. I think, in my opinion, this would be a very bad decision and would actually undermine the goal of eCash. I don't know what's your opinion about this. I hope in this video I could show you a little bit my opinion about this, or the things I know about this. Maybe it helps you to make up your mind. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this, what your thoughts are about that. Also, please, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter. Visit me on Reddit or wherever else. I'm looking forward to see you there. You will find all the links, of course, down in the description below. Yeah, and then see you next time. Bye.